Hello, Miami. This is 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will, and in today's Possible Kane segment, I will be talking about Nik Carr. Yes, Nik Carr, wide receiver, four-star wide receiver out of the lovely state of Georgia. He attends Colquitt County High School, and he's from the lovely city of Moultrie, Georgia. He's listed at 5'11", 168 pounds. I know people may say, well, my gosh, Will, another wide receiver. How many wide receivers are we going to take in this recruiting cycle? I want to remind people that Miami didn't do very well last season when it came to wide receiver recruiting, especially at the boundary position. Okay. Miami did well in the slots, picking up Robbie Washington and also Ray Joseph. But as far as like the boundary position, like for example, Brandon Inniss went over to Ohio State. Miami has picked up that type of recruiting this past season, a recruiting season, with JoJo Trader and Chance Robinson, and targeting guys like Jeremiah Smith as well, Ryan Wingo, and also Nik Carr. Now, Nik Carr is interesting because he decommits from the two-time back-to-back national champion Georgia Bulldogs and has opened up his commitment. Basically, it seems to be a battle between Miami and Florida State is what I've looked at, as far as what I've seen on YouTube in particular. So it is going to be quite interesting because both schools have been recruiting wide receivers pretty well. So just a little bit about Mr. Carr, and we'll get into it and whatnot. First of all, his video is absolutely sick. The kid is very good. You can put him in the slot. You can put him in the boundary. Now, another thing too, before I go into what I want to really talk about as far as his numbers go and what I saw in his huddle, keep this in mind. All right, keep this in mind. Since I mentioned a couple seconds ago that Miami didn't recruit very well, especially the boundary position at wide receiver, a few of the wide receivers now are, becoming upperclassmen. Restrepo, George, Brashard Smith, Kobe Young. They could be moving on real soon, to the next level, and Miami's going to have depth at the wide receiver position. So if you can rack up 4 top wide receivers in this recruiting cycle, I say go for it, okay? And they will eventually get playing time. I know we haven't seen that. It's been top 3 guys so far on the Shannon Dawson's offense. But again, I do expect as ACC play rolls along, we will see more of the Ray Josephs, come into play as well. Brashard Smith gets more snaps, a Horton sighting, Shamar Kirk sighting, and also a Tyler Harrell sighting. Okay, so I want to, address the listenership out in that particular fashion. All right, so a little bit about Mr. Carr. Sorry, something popped up on my Zoom here. A little bit about Mr. Carr. All right, he is, as I mentioned, 168, 5'11". He's the 11th ranked wide receiver in the country. All right. He's the 9th best player in the state of Georgia. Now, I know we talk about Florida, Texas, and California being, the creme of the creme when it comes to football. But the state of Georgia is really, really good. All right. Georgia has been giving us some really good football players, especially the last few years, because guys like, for example, Popo Aguirre is from Georgia. Jake Garcia, although from California, got his scholarship, playing at a Georgia high school, as well. So we've seen the Georgia kids get very well recruited lately, and he just happens to be one of them, as well. All right, so a little bit about him. Well, first of all, in 2022, bald, right? This year too, bald. Every year he's been consistent. He's actually had more touchdown receptions his sophomore year. I think he had about 13 than he did his junior year. So the kid is just an absolute baller. In 2022, 62 catches with 1,051 yards receiving, 10 touchdown receptions. If you look at his video, I know I'll say this about everybody, and highlight reels, but the kid is an absolute baller, okay? And most of the videos that you've seen in the huddle, if you look at him, there's a lot of cushion, right? A lot of cushion, between the defender and Mr. Carr, all right? And NY smokes him, right? If you do not put hands, on this wide receiver, he is going to burn you. He is absolutely fast, okay? He can play the slot position. He can play the boundary position as well. Excellent hands, okay? 50-50 balls, even though he's only 5'11", he's capable of winning them. Great hands. Could catch him while open, catch him while being, having a guy draped all over him. Doesn't matter. If that ball gets to his hands, he's making that play, right, as well. Great in the slot, great in the boundary. Doesn't matter. He'd be great in motion as well. You put him in motion, causing a mismatch, he is going to burn, will eat up zone. All right, if you play zone defense against Miami and this kid's your wide receiver, he will eat that zone up, right? He would just find a spot, catch the football, And if you don't make a tackle right away, boom, he's gone because he'll turn those defenders' hips and just take off on them, right? As well. Again, he can play the boundary. Also, another thing I want to mention, another thing that's important, especially if you're throwing like slant passes, fronting your defender, fronts him very well. All right. He can front his defender very well, runs by him, great footwork, great use of mobility as well, incredibly shifty. Again, not just a speed guy. And that's the one thing that Miami's been doing lately. Okay. They're not just getting a guy that is incredibly fast and can burn people. They're getting a guy that is multidimensional. Not only just can he run by defenders, but he could also find a way, to make defenders miss as well. And gone. Creation of space, very good. As I mentioned, this kid has, will have defenders play 10, basically 10 yards off of him. He still manages to get by them. He still manages to catch the football as well. Okay, so he's just a beast, all right? Just a flat-out beast. Footwork, hands, shifty, so great hip mobility as well. Fast, tenacious, all right, as well. Dangerous in the red zone, dangerous in space, okay? Dangerous while being covered, all right? This kid is an absolute beast. And Miami can get him, it'd be great, okay? Miami already has 2 of the top wide receivers in the country verbally committed to this football team, all right? They have JoJo Trader and Chance Robinson. They could add another one with Nik Carr. They could add another one with Wingo. They could flip Jeremiah Smith. The bottom line is, I don't care. Stack wide receivers. If you can stack wide receivers this recruiting class, you'll be set, right? You'll be set. And the rumor has it that TVD may or may not come for a senior season. He may just do it, all right? He may just do it. He may just come back. And who knows? Who knows what the kid's thinking? But the bottom line is that having a receiving core like this of young talent will definitely help if he decides to come back, because he'll have weapons galore as well. Another thing about Nik Carr is that he will be visiting Miami the day of the Georgia Tech game, all right, as well. So he will be present, on the sidelines with the Canes in particular to watch the game as well. So Miami could put up points, and they've been doing very well at the wide receiver position. This kid could be a lock, all right? This kid could be a lock. And Miami likes to, they're spraying all over the field with their wide receivers, so it's fantastic. Shannon Dawson's offense loves to run the football, but he also loves to get his receivers in space with tempo and motion as well. And especially in the A&M game, he used motion to perfection. I am dying to see what Shannon Dawson does in ACC play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a few announcements, okay, as well. Hoodie Girl, I'll be recording an episode with Hoodie Girl this upcoming Monday night. The episode will air on Tuesday morning. We'll be talking a little Georgia Tech, some Canes as well. So Hoodie Girl will be on. If you don't know who Hoodie Girl is, she's part of the Avengers ensemble with Chalupa Batman on Locked On Canes as well. She's also fantastic on Twitter. She's very active. She's the ultimate Canes fan. And of course, she's well known because she wears a hood, all right, as well. So I'm sure you guys will like that episode, all right, as well. And she's very knowledgeable, and I'm sure you'll enjoy hearing her speak about the Canes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you heard, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 05 Sports Now. Once again, I am Will. Stay safe. God bless you soon. Go Canes. All about the you guys. Bye-bye.